Hey gang, Lukas here, and today I'll be learning how to do pine grinds on quarter pipe. A kine grind is also known as an alley-oop topside mizu, which basically means that you approach the object skating in a forward position, and then as you jump to the obstacle, you rotate about 180 degrees, anywhere from 90 to 180 degrees, I guess, and then you land on the obstacle with your sole foot in the topside position and your other foot in a fast slide position, sliding on the inside edge of the H block. I decided to try this trick out at the Wandong Skatepark while I had an hour or so to spare. It's basically just a round bowl with an opening at one end and this nipple, or I think they're called, or a dimple in the middle of the bowl. So it's quite a nice little bowl to actually practice things like this on, where you just want to continue back and forth from one side to the other and keep trying the same thing over and over until you get it. So I waxed up the bowl a little bit, did some warm-ups, just doing front side grinds and back sides to get the feel for the wax on the coping, and then I started to try a few kine grinds. The main issue I had with getting this grind was just trying to find the right balance point. I kept finding that I would go over the top of the coping and end up on the platform and sort of overbalance, whereas I needed to basically lean further back into the quarter pipe to actually stick the grind and lock the sole foot on properly. So here I was just trying a stall to sort of try and get the feel for the balance right, and then trying a couple of fishbone stalls as well, just with the sole foot only, just to try to get a feel for where that foot needed to sit on the coping in order to stop my body from going over and onto the flat bit at the top of the platform. I found that rotating into the position for this grind was quite natural for me, as it's fairly similar to going into a power slide, which is something that I do quite a lot. So from this angle you can sort of see a little bit better how the positioning of the body over the coping, leaning back in towards the ramp a little bit more, helps to lock that sole foot in. If you go too high or too straight up, I guess you're actually rolling on the wheels rather than having that top sole position of the sole foot locked into place properly. This one coming up is actually pretty cool. It's probably the first one that I actually locked properly. Even though I started off rolling the wheels, I sort of slid into the right position on the coping, which felt really good. So I get a couple of good ones here that actually feel good in terms of balancing and actually not ending up on the platform, but the wheels are still rolling on the platform more so than getting a topside sole grind correctly. So I'm still going into the into the dusk trying to get this. So the lighting's not great here, obviously, but I thought I'd include these last couple of clips where I did get, I think, 1 or 2 good ones before I finished up for the night. Generally, when I try a new trick, I'll sort of want to land it 3 times before I say that I've sort of got it. This one, even though I got 1 or 2 here or there, I sort of still kept falling back to going over the platform. So it's just really a matter of getting that balance right. So back at it again a couple of days later, this time at Cragieburn Skatepark, which is a pretty cool little skate park. It's quite small, but these little quarter pipes are a good place to practice. There's a little loop I've been trying to get happening with some front sides, and I thought once I had that I would also try my new kind grind on there. Now in terms of the curve coping on these quarters, I'm not sure if that is a good thing or a bad thing. It's probably not helpful. It's probably easier to learn this just on a straight quarter pipe with a straight coping. I have tried a few since these clips were recorded, and I think that was actually easier just being on a straight coping, but anyway, it is what it is. The curves are fun to try and negotiate and navigate, but it does mean obviously as you hit the curve you've got to adjust your balance and lean further back into the quarter pipe as well as you're going around that curve to stop you from popping up again onto the platform. I guess part of the reason that finding the balance point is a little difficult with this grind, for me anyway, is the fear that sole foot, if you're leaning too far back into the quarter pipe, that the sole foot's just going to slip out and not lock onto the coping, and you're going to end up landing on your head or upper body. So I guess when you're learning new tricks, obviously it's always a good idea to throw all sorts of pads on, wear your butt pads, wrist guards, helmet, all that sort of stuff, which I wasn't doing. That might have helped me, give me a bit of extra confidence to go at it a little bit harder. So that's kind grinds for you. Obviously I've still got a little bit of work to get the balance right and get them completely unlocked, but I'm happy with the progress so far. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments, and thanks for watching. Until next time, be kind and stay on the grind.